Pennsylvania are going to fire the radical left Democrats. We are going to end the Nancy Pelosi political career, the Biden political career. And above all, this election is a referendum on the corruption and extremism of Joe Biden and the radical Democrat Party. If you want to stop this destruction of America, you must vote Republican. You got to get out and vote. As you know, this week, Joe Biden came to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania to give the most vicious, hateful, and divisive speech ever delivered by an American president, vilifying 75 million citizens plus another probably 75 to 150, if we want to be accurate about it, as threats to democracy. You're all enemies of the state. He's an enemy of the state. You want to know the truth? The enemy of the state is him and the group that control him, which is circling around him. Do this, do that, Joe. Biden thinks making America great again is bad for our country. Do you believe it? That was in his speech. MAGA. MAGA, he says we got to stop MAGA. That's when I defined it, because I don't think he knows what it meant. It means make America great again. We have to stop it. Stop MAGA. Stop make America great again. He thinks making America great again is a threat to our country. No, making America great again is great for our country. And raiding and breaking into the homes of their political opponents, I wonder who that could be. Republicans in the MAGA movement are not the ones trying to undermine our democracy. We are the ones trying to save our democracy. Very simple. Very simple. Very simple. The danger to democracy comes from the radical left, not from the right. This November, we're going to stand up to this rising tyranny of sickness, lawlessness, and death, and we are going to take back our country. We're going to take it back. We witnessed one of the most shocking abuses of power by any administration in American history. The shameful raid and break-in of my home, Mar-a-Lago, was a travesty of justice that made a mockery of America's laws, traditions, and principles before the entire world was watching, and they're shocked. The streets of our great cities are drenched in the blood of innocent victims. Much of this crime is caused by drug dealers. I'm calling for the death penalty for drug dealers, which will, upon its passage, reduce drug distribution in our country on day one by 75%. This November, you also have to defeat the far-left Democrat candidate for governor, little Josh Shapiro, who is so much like Fetterman, other than he's about half his height, which is fine. Just fine. I always say it's absolutely fine, because we don't want to tell height jokes. You can't tell any jokes today.
Thank you, Mr. President. Pennsylvania loves you, and America needs you. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for paving the way for people like me and everyone you see out here to fight for freedom. Thank you for taking the shots and standing boldly and leading by example. Pennsylvania is a keystone state. We're going to be the state where people want to come to raise their families and to succeed in business. On day one, we're out of the Regional Greenhouse Gas Initiative. We're going to drill and dig like no tomorrow. That's right. That's right. We're going to do it. Oh, yeah. On day one, we're no longer a sanctuary state, so Joe Biden can have these illegal. We'll dump them off at his beach house where he spends all his time anyway. He can have them. On day one, we're going to have have the backs of our beautiful law enforcement. On day one, there's no more mask requirement or COVID jab requirement. That's right. We're going to walk like free people like never before. Pennsylvania. This is where the light of liberty was lit in 1776. A new birth of freedom in 1863. And something very near and dear to both of our hearts. We're going to fight like hell for voting integrity, and we're going to start with voter ID. That's right. That's right. That's right. The left. My opponent is too dangerous, too extreme, and too radical for Pennsylvania. He can't even define what a woman is. I mean, the guy is nuts.